it was to your point where you started, you were essentially running an acting business.
Yeah.
And then you started doing photography. Once you started doing that photography, it sort of almost took your focus away from the acting, and you started acting better and started booking.
But it's funny how we heard that different.
Yeah.
Because to me, it wasn't whether or not it added stress. What it did was it removed stress.
And that's what I was wondering in your,
and I'm kind of on your side. Like I said that it didn't add any stress.
Didn't add any stress.
Nothing
But it must have
anyway, I think.
relieved some stress in here and there. Knowing that you didn't have to deal with some yabo who's just going to take you for a ride or whatever.
Your restaurant business.
No, I think, as I said, diversifying our business was huge, you know, and that was a big advantage. Yeah. And, you know, business is business. Like, in my opinion, it's all about trust and relationships. Yeah. And you just build the best teams around you. I often say to our GMs, like our model is get a really good GM and let them build their own team. Yeah. And then the instruction is hire people that are as good as yourself or better. Because, you know, one weak link could take the whole ship down. So that's it. And they build really, really good teams. And then that's their location. Like, you know, Smith's here in Gastown has their own team and their family. And like, they're passionate about this place. They love it.
Now you've said this heartwarming thing, I feel really bad about construction shaming you. You had a question about art, or are we done? Are we out of time?
No, there's not. We don't have a set time. I do want to ask, because you mentioned about the art side of it that you allocate, which I think is great advice, because when you're in a business, even you can get sort of caught up in the business, and then you lose that. You see those people all.
Yeah, you lose the drive.
Yeah, they're just doing their job. And they may be even good at it, but they're not that pleasant to work with.
Yeah.
Are there a couple art pieces that sort of filled the soul that you've done?
I'm so driven with this thing. Like I'm single now, and like I can't even see myself in a relationship right now because I'm married to my camera and the work I do, and I love it right now. And I'm driven. I want to get somewhere before I go into that space. So I end up going right back into work that makes me better. So as much as I'm doing stuff that fills my need, that's the kind of stuff I want to shoot. It's also about making me better. Like I want to be better. So the one that sticks with me is we shot at a speakeasy just close to here, Lawai. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's a beautiful, beautiful space. It's one of the owner-operators is a man named Alex Black, a great bartender. He does Mind the Bar, which is to help people in the hospitality industry with mental health and drug addiction issues. We shot at his location, and the story of that was sort of a woman goes into a bar, there's a guy hitting on her, then a girl that she's with, and then she decides just to be by herself. There was an examination in having faith in self, but through art. But what I'd done is I'd moved from a very small canvas, which is sort of like this space of you, to a larger canvas. And because I'd been in the restaurant business for quite some time, I'm like, I get really bored with a lot of the Pacific Northwest. It's all the same green mirror window stuff. Restaurant people are building some of the best spaces in the city. Why don't we shoot in the restaurants? Like we're getting great interiors here. Like it would cost thousands of dollars to set this up. So why not just go into the restaurants and do it? And I will be asking you about this later.
We do a lot of that type of work. Yeah. Lots of it. Yeah.
And so we shot on behalf of Lawai for that day because they ended up using the imagery. We ended up shooting for a clothing brand, which what it was predominantly for. And then another cocktail brand. So we sort of blended it all together, created this sort of, gave the vision of an advertising, what do they call it? A whole sweep of pictures, right? And one of the pictures, a friend of mine, Rahano, he's a deep sea diver, and he wore the deep sea diver outfit with in the picture. And it's a full deep sea diver outfit with this beautiful girl almost dressed like Cleopatra looking away from him. So we got to play with like the oddities that I love. We got to play with the lighting that I love. But more importantly, we expanded the canvas. And that's one of the biggest jumps you have as a photographer is to expand your canvas and to do a wider spread where you're not just focused in on certain things. Because now it takes more work. You need a larger team to do it. So when you look at the imagery, I think I gave you the links to that one there, and I don't know if Josh cares to share that with people.
Oh, we'll be bringing them up the screen.
But I'm so proud of that work. I'm so proud of the team that we worked with. I'm so proud of the imagery we created because it strikes a chord in just about anybody who watched it.
It stood out to me. Yeah.
One of my favorite pictures is we had Carmel, who's now moved back to Spain. She's a Spanish woman. And we get to the point, she's wearing this polka dot dress, and she goes, I wanted her to wear, what do you call it? Converse shoes, right? And she brought 2 pairs. And she goes, which one do you want me to wear? And I said, no, wear one of each. And she's like, what? I said, no, wear one of each. And nobody, all my crew were like, well, why double? Then we took the picture. We did it with one set of shoes that was proper and then one that was off. Then I showed the imagery to everybody and everyone went, the one with the 2 different shoes, because it gets your mind wondering what's happening in this image. Why does everything else is normal?
Yeah.
Except for this one thing that's off, and it just grabbed people.